Now these are the two. We will combine them to write a coalescence process. Why? Because it is also important. I think it would be okay if you don't write the coalescence process because it involves the two. But for us, we should write it because we're concerned with all processes, and they say it here, extract or write the phonological rules. Okay, the rules should be written. Okay, all of the rules. Okay, let's see here. For example, I will delete these. Okay. Number 3 for coalescence. Okay, I'll delete these. This process would be for coalescence. Let's take the example of bone. This is how we have it in the exercise. Okay, this one, bone. But before the deletion of that consonant, there is another process happened before. Okay, it was nasalization. So what would be in the first one? It would be like this. Bone becomes bone. That's good. Because of that nasal, it would be n or n. It's okay for both. Okay? Okay, bone becomes bone. Okay, the deletion of this consonant gives us the nasalization process to occur for a successful process. Okay, so let's see. Here we have what? The vowel here, what we are concerned with is this vowel. So we would say it's what? The surrounding environment. So this one is the vowel. It is preceded by what? A consonant, please. A consonant, okay? Followed by a vowel, okay? Followed by what? A consonant that is plus nasal. It's easy. You don't have to be. Followed by a consonant that is nasal, okay? Followed by what? A word boundary. In this case, the word boundary, it could be like, for example, other consonants, for example, a word boundary or a consonant. Okay, let's number them, okay? Let's give them labels or numbers. This one, the consonant would be labeled as 1, the vowel would be as 2, the consonant would be as 3, and the last environment would be as 4. This would give us what? The consonant will still exist, the b sound still here, b baqa hna, b. Okay, so it is still there, so 1 is there. The vowel, what does it get? It gets the feature nasal. Okay, let's make it like this. The vowel gets the feature nasal. Here is it. The vowel gets plus nasal. Okay. And followed by what? Nothing. So it would be followed by deletion. This is number 2, and this is number 3. What about number 4? It would still a word boundary. A word boundary or consonants. Why I write consonants? Because there are other, like for example, data sets we should consider. We focus only on this one. If we want, like for example, to keep it like this, a word boundary, it would be okay. Okay, let's keep it. Let's focus only on this example. It would be like this. Good. So the 1 goes for the consonant, 2 is like this. So number 3 gets deleted. And this is coalescence. What do we mean by coalescence? Two segments or two features of sounds like emerge to become one. Like for example, this vowel was not nasal, and when they emerged, they become nasal, and this one got deleted. So like there is a change between this one and this one. Okay, this one is deleted. When it is deleted, it must give the vowel nasalization. Okay, قبل ما يتمحى ولا يديليت هاد الكونسونانت الفاول خاصو ياخد nasal feature. علاش؟ باش طرا لنا واحد successful nasalization process. الا ما طراتش غنطيحو في المشكل ديال الاول ان الكونسونانت كيبقاو والفاول ما كيتنيزلايزاش. Okay, I hope it's clear. Now let's move to the fourth question. In case of there are more than one rule is involved, do the rules have to be ordered? Motivate your answer. Okay. Here we have a question related to the rule ordering. Okay. And this rule ordering, it would be easy if you identify these processes. That's good. So the main process we said are what? Nasalization and deletion. Those are the main processes. Okay. Which one should go first? Is it deletion or nasalization? We don't know yet, but we will explain it. Why? Let's give the example again of bonbon. Okay, the bon sound. This bon sound, because before getting the nasalization feature, there was a sound here, a consonant. Okay, it was here. That's why we have the nasalization. Like for example, بحال هاد nasalization هاد الساوند هذا كيتحول لينا فوق الفاول هنايا، كيولي هاد الفاول كيتنطق من النيف بحال بون، كيخرج الاو كتخرج من النيف. That's what it means. Okay, I hope it's clear. Okay, when something that is ambiguous, we try to explain it using Darija and Moroccan or standard Arabic. So here we have the bon moving, changing into a bon with the deletion of the consonants. Is this okay to have the deletion process before the nasalization? No. It should go. What goes first is the nasalization process, then followed by a process of deletion to have a successful rule ordering. So, what would be the underlying representation if you want to take into consideration this data? Should be like this. The underlying representation. Okay. The underlying representation is what? Is bon. Okay. And let's take another example from the other data where the vowels do not get nasalized. For example, sonne. Let's take sonne, for example. Sonne. Okay, this one. Sonne. That's good. And we have the, okay. Actually, that's what you should write on the day of the exam. Okay, this one for rule ordering is the underlying representation is bon, and the other one is what? Is sonne. Good. That's good. Okay. The first rule number one, what would be? Rule one. We said should be nasalization. Okay. So nasalization would do what? It will give us the bon sound. Good. This one. Is this applicable? It is applicable. It's not applicable because here we have, like for example, the ne sound does not get nasalized. Okay, so it would be like this. Rule number two. We say it is not applicable. Okay. Okay, let's keep it like this. Not applicable. For rule number two, it is deletion. Deletion, what would be? It would be like this. And the deletion of this sound. Okay, this one is the deletion. Here, does the sound n gets deleted? No, it's still there, so it is not applicable. So, ne. So, The phonetic representation would be what? The phonetic representation would be boom, like this. Okay? And this one would be Sony. Why I'm writing this? There is no change, but to show you where the change occurs. So to have a successful nasalization, the nasal should be deleted. Here there was no deletion of the nasal. That's why there was no rule ordering, or there was no change in the sounds. Okay, that's why the rule ordering is important to distinguish between what should be ordered as first and the second and extra. If you have more than one rule, you should order them like uh, we can say according to the data that you have. For example, here nasalization can't occur only if the sound is deleted, and the nasalization process should occur first because it is assimilated by the nasal consonant. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.